This is my second time trying to record this video. I don't know how to do it correctly, so I'm just going to sort of speak my mind and hope that it comes across okay. If you are offended by this, I'm deeply sorry. But I don't think it's an extremely hot take that I'm going to be hitting you with right now. Basically, to sum up, Bynx and Alex Coccia both released videos recently just talking about Infinite and how basically you shouldn't stress yourselves out about hitting it. Like, it's hard to hit Infinite, it's true. It takes a long time to hit Infinite, it's true. And it's not particularly rewarding to hit Infinite. Like, yeah, you get a card back. Big deal, no one really cares about that. There's no leaderboard, so there's no incentive for a truly competitive community after hitting Infinite. There's just not all that much there at the moment. Leaderboards will be coming over time. Sure, but for now I agree largely with the point that Alex and Bynx are both saying. There's no real reason to try and force yourself to get Infinite, especially if it's causing you stress and if it's not fun. If you're playing Marvel Snap, the number one priority should be having fun in any way, doing anything that's fun for you. Whether that's just collecting cards, collecting variants, or playing the game, doing your missions, do whatever's fun. And if you find the grind to Infinite fun, then do that too. And I think that's where I have an objection with Alex and Bynx's videos. It is true, you do not need to be an exceptional player at Marvel Snap in order to make great content. But I also think that it's fair to add the point that it is okay to want to watch exceptional players' content. Now, let's be really clear about this, right? Nobody should be berating anyone or insulting anyone or judging anyone for their ability at Marvel Snap. If someone was making, deck guides and being like, this is how to get to Infinite with this deck, and that player that made the guide had never hit Infinite, sure, you could raise some eyebrows. But like, Bynx's content isn't meant as like hyper competitive, I am the best at Marvel Snap content. It's not. He's a fun, chill guy who does really cool streams, makes different zany decks and has some success with them, and is just overall great to watch. And that's good, Bynx is a standout content creator. There's a reason he's become so successful with Marvel Snap. He's good at what he does. Is he a great player? Well, I mean, that's relative. I come from a history of Hearthstone esports. I was a caster for Blizzard for years. I've commentated on other esports as well. My brain is wired in an esports sense. So I think KM Best is pretty good at Marvel Snap, right? He's arguably the best Marvel Snap player that we has. And for me, he's good. To me, I'm not good. Do I hit Infinite every season? Yeah, I do. I don't think I'm that good at the game. It's impossible to judge just how good I am at the game because, again, there's no ladder. So once you hit Infinite, it's just a grind for the sake of a grind. The numbers go up and it doesn't really mean all that much. But do I think that I'm good at the game? Not by my own standard. Do I think a player that doesn't hit Infinite every month is good at the game? Well, I mean, it depends, right? Like, hitting Infinite is one heck of a grind, and if anything, I do think they could do with toning it down a little bit, making the requirement a little less harsh, because it would be nice if a few more players were hitting Infinite. And so no, I don't think a player is no good if they don't hit Infinite every month. It takes so much time. I mean, again, do you know how much time it takes to make content like Bynx and Alex? These guys put out videos so frequently that need to be recorded, the concept needs to be come up with, scripted, edited, etc., etc. Like, that takes time. I'm not able to put videos out at the rate that they are. Like, hats off to them, seriously. If they don't have time to hit Infinite every month, that's not really a huge surprise. However, do I think a player that can't hit Infinite is great at Marvel Snap? Well, no. I don't, and I don't think that's a particularly shocking take. If someone can't hit Infinite, they just haven't gathered the skills to get there yet, and that's okay. If they keep working at it, they'll get there eventually. But being great at Marvel Snap is not a prerequisite for making Marvel Snap content. If you want to watch people make zany decks and play them, that is awesome content, and you do you. But personally, I like the competitive side of things. I like watching the best players competing and learning the new techniques and learning the new decks and abusing the most powerful card. I enjoy that. Am I wrong for enjoying that? Should I be called a tryhard or a sweat for enjoying that? I don't think so. I don't think it's correct to conflate a toxic community with a competitive community. I think they're two very different things. And I think that's the one objection that I have to Bynx's video, is that it does just, he mentioned the communities in other games are toxic. Well, it's like, people are allowed to enjoy competitive content. That's okay. In fact, I think that competitive communities and fun communities should both exist. And I don't really think that one can exist without the other. How can decks be fun if there aren't other decks that are competitive, top tier? If every deck was a fun deck, then by definition, none of them would be fun decks. The point that I want to make in this video is that while of course it is okay and great to be a Marvel Snap content creator, regardless of your skill level, it doesn't matter if you can hit infinite or not. It really doesn't. That is an area where Bynx and Alex are both very, very correct. While that is an acceptable statement, you can make great Marvel Snap content even if you're not a great Marvel Snap player. It is also okay to say, I want to watch a great Marvel Snap player. Not every content creator is for every viewer. If you look at other communities, if you look at Hearthstone, there are content creators who pride themselves on being the best in the business at the game. And there are content creators that make loads of YouTube videos, loads of cool content with loads of cool decks, and they'd never be considered a top player. Regis Kilburn is a great example, one of my favorite Hearthstone creators of all time. He's made his way into Marvel Snaps. He's a great example to use. He's playing it a lot. Is he good at Hearthstone? Sure. If you're looking at it from a competitive lens, is he great at Hearthstone? I don't believe he's ever like competed in like world championships or anything. I don't think he's ever like top 8 at a major or anything. So no, I mean, to that standard, he's not. But that doesn't belittle what he does do for the community, which is loads of stuff. Regis is great, but so is HS Dog, who over the years has been one of the top players in Hearthstone. You know, he's competed in all sorts of world finals and loads of prize money. And he was one of the biggest Hearthstone streamers for most of its run. He was so good at the game that when a new expansion would come out, he would just play any old stuff. He would create the weirdest combo decks and he'd win consistently with them and get legend like that. For me, that was sick content. That was awesome. His whole thing wasn't chill vibes and being entertaining, although, you know, there's a degree of that, of course. His thing was, I'm really freaking good at the game, and there has to be a place for that. I don't want anyone to feel sad or conscious about their ability at Marvel Snap. No one should feel that they have to hit infinite, of course. No one should feel that they shouldn't be making content because they're not good enough at the game. Like, there's space for everyone, but everyone includes the tryhards and the sweats. And as long as they're not being toxic to other people for not being good enough, I don't believe that people should be calling them toxic or being toxic to them for wanting to play the best deck and watch people play the best deck. It's all valid. There's place for everyone. I hope this resonates with you, and I hope nobody's insulted by this, because it really isn't meant to be insulting to anyone. All of the creators that I've mentioned in this video are great. I look up to all of them. I'm inspired by all of them every day, but I really, really want to make sure that in our effort to be welcoming and inclusive in the Marvel Snap community, in our efforts to do all of that, and in saying over and over again, you don't need to hit infinite, you don't need to hit infinite, it doesn't matter how good you are at the game, I hope that we don't, as a result, exclude those that are looking for a place to be competitive, a place to compete, a place to workshop the best decks and the best strategies, because that can be an awesome, inspiring part of the community too. And I hope that in time, with leaderboards and more competitive events, I hope that part of the community forms, because personally speaking, that's my favorite type of content. And if it's yours, that's okay. And if you're not into that, that's okay too. Thanks for watching.